What's good? It's Diggity Dom. I'm here with Izzy. This is our first episode of Talks with Dom. Brought homie on because I want to talk about how I really feel being in America right now as a black dude. And, we've been out here protesting, out here peacefully fighting for our rights. And so let's hit it with the intro real quick and we're going to get into our experience about everything that's going on and how we're feeling.
My name is Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom, Dom, Diggity Dom.
So, it's been really hard, I feel personally, making any videos like this week, a little bit behind because, like, the world is in shambles, right? Like, first, we started with Corona, and then, school is shutting down, we online, cool. And then we got the people talking about the Hornets, the murder Hornets. I'm like, okay, that's a phase in itself. Don't forget about Carol Baskin. And then next thing you know, all these black men are getting killed, which have been happening for hundreds and hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. And so I think George Floyd's death was the breaking point. Like, everybody was already tired about what was going on, but that last murder just like tipped everything off to the point where we're like, nah, can't do this no more. And so I just personally then felt like, okay, I need to just like stand up, and I can't, like, it's just hard dealing with everything. Anytime I see the police, from before George Floyd, like, because bad times, there's Sandra Bland, there's so many names where it's like, it's tiring to like list all that shit. Yeah. So like, I don't know, like how like have you been feeling?
Almost like overwhelmed, but not quite. I feel like this time is different because I think social media really desensitizes us to a lot of things, or the environments that we keep ourselves around. Anything like just media in general, a lot of the really specific simulated worlds that we can craft around us and inside our heads really make it easy to ignore something. And I think this time it was different because all over America, all over the world is getting recognition, but all over America there's an actual physical impact. Like, there's something tangible that people were looking outside their windows and seeing, like, wow, the streets are flooded with people. And this is not just like one city, two cities, this is all over America, and it's like every day. So it's just like, it's very different. I don't think this is really something like this on this massive of a scale has really ever happened before.
Yeah, like, I think this was definitely what you call one for the books, because like, I don't think there hasn't ever been a time in history where all 50 states in America have protested for Black lives and civil rights. This is a whole ass civil rights movement going on. On top of that, we in a pandemic. Mm-hmm. We haven't had this, you know what I mean, like, in our lifetime, my parents' lifetime, in my grandparents' lifetime. We haven't had this. So to be in a pandemic and to be having a civil rights war and all this shit going on, it's like, it's honestly crazy and it's baffling. Like, it's really wild. But what I will say is, I do feel that there has to be, like, I'm here, I'm gonna keep protesting and I'm gonna keep trying to do all that stuff until I die. But there's a problem, I feel like, with the system at the end of the day. And like, I feel like one of us, not necessarily me and you per se, but one of us as a black people need to find a way to stand up and like literally change the system. If we aren't the leaders at the top, and how how are things gonna get changed? You know what I mean? And if you're white or not of person of color and you're watching this, like, how can you use your privilege to help bring us up as well? Because it's clear as day, like, America wasn't built for us as in black people. Y'all should know that. So I want to get a little bit about our protest experience. I've been kind of on the low about the fact that I've been out, but like I can't hide that no more. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, there's hundreds of thousands of people protesting, millions of people protesting. So like I'm gonna hope God is with us. You know what I'm saying? Protect us, Lord Jesus. But for me, I'm not gonna get into straight specifics about location and everything due to safety or whatever. But when we started off with the protest, I was of course with a group of close people, family and friends, and it was probably about an hour march down to go to the State House, and it was very, very peaceful. I would say, like, on the way down there, I see a few people that I knew. Spoke to the people, you know what I'm saying? There was people passing out water, food, homegirl in the protest selling turkey subs with chips. Like, that's what I love about black people, you know what I mean? Like, we always trying to hustle, we always, and it was really dope to see, like, us stopping, like, totally stopping traffic, like, and just everybody's together fighting for one cause, chanting together, and that was really dope. Now, things, of course, might have taken a turn when the riots and the looters and blah blah blah, but when we got to the State House, everything seemed to be chill. And then the girl with the megaphone goes, "Oh, you better go home now. If you're just peacefully protesting, you might wanna leave or go off to the sides, because if you're right here, there's no way out. There's no way out." And that was really serious for me, because I was like, yo, like, if something were to happen right here, there's nowhere to run. Like, it's so packed right now. Like, you have to, and it's trying to like weigh out my safety and stuff, And so I ended up pushing away, moving with my group. We walked down a little bit to the middle area. I could still see what's going on. 10 seconds after we move, everybody's running from that area. Like, everybody's running. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? And then next thing you know, we're trying to find my sister, like, what's going on, trying to make sure we got everybody. And then I see tear gas, like, being blown up everywhere. They're throwing the cans out. We're hearing the rubber bullets, the helicopters, the whole nine. And then the area that we were just standing in, we moved from again. And then we turn around, that whole area was on fire. And I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. But Izzy, right? When I seen the tear gas, I was like, yo, I don't want to get too close to that. But I seen your ass right up front by the cops. Now, I really want to know your experience, you know what I mean? Like, I can get into a little bit of this shit after, but like, when you started from your protest and up until like when you got right in front with the cops with your signs and stuff, like, how was that for you? Like, walk me through what happened.
We started, the protest didn't leave too far. It started in Dudley. It hadn't been too far from there since like when I joined. I joined with one of my homies, and immediately right before getting into the line, people gave us gloves, a care package, like water, a cookie, some soap, a mask, and whatnot. And yeah, we kind of just fell into line, and it felt kind of weird at first. It felt like, we were all walking the same direction, but not necessarily as if everyone was looking the same way, or if we were, if everyone was really aware of the fact that we were all there for the same reason.
That's interesting.
Like, as a collective group, as one giant body. And I think that really showed in some of the shouts too. It almost kind of like disconnected at certain points, where it would be like a one small weak group of shouting here, and then you hear one big group they're going in the back, and then I don't know, it was weird. Like anywhere at least I was out with my homie, it was kind of weak, and we ended up like leading a lot of the chants.
Right, same.
which was like, you know, crazy, because it was like almost all of them. And it was like very early on into, you know, I started losing my voice, and I was like, oh, my voice is going like already. Like, damn. No, that, you know, I could either just like stop, I could just scream louder. And I just kept screaming louder and louder. I don't know, like the repetition, the walking, getting really into it. At a certain point, I feel like I started to kind of like lose consciousness of it. And I got like really deep into it. And, you know, we were like walking around, leading the chants, turning around, looking at people, and like people were really like yelling. People were chanting. People were like feeling something. And I feel like the closer we got to the State House, the more connected it started to feel. But I think one thing that's interesting about this time period, as opposed to like time periods prior, where, you know, we've done activist work as Black people, as people in general, I think before they were very clear, like civil activist leaders, very clear, distinctive people that were leading movements that you could look to for instruction, for direction, for whatever, for reassurance. This time was different because everyone was there more so as an individual, and there was a lot of people. But I think because of that, everyone kind of had a particular purpose in mind, and I think some people were even there with no purpose. Kind of just there to be there, like not really even sure why they went or why they came. And with that, you know, you look to other people. Some people look and some people follow chants, some people will follow other things that happen. But I think it was very interesting, and even for you to bring up, you know, the lady with the megaphone, making it clear, like, all right, if you're here for peace, you should move. Right. It's like, all right, so there's a clear awareness amongst the group that there's like a separated mindset here. Half of the people are here for one thing, and half of the people are almost prepared, like, to just for another one.
People were throwing water bottles.
Yeah.
At that point, and it was like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. That's when. So when we got to the State House, we didn't stay too long. We moved down. We honestly kind of planned on leaving, and then we walked. We kept moving. We were moving back towards like the downtown area, and there was just like cops there. And it was kind of like we kind of just like walked into what seemed like a standoff between kind of like cops and civilians. Like they were just standing away from each other. The cops were in the middle, and the civilians were also surrounded. Everyone's talking. Everyone's getting rowdy, yelling, stuff like that. People are just upset. And then as the crowds like getting bigger, yada yada yada. Someone throws the first water bottle, and it's like, you know, I see it. You see it coming down, and it's like, oh, you know, like something's gonna happen. So it's like, you know, and then just everybody starts throwing water bottles. Like it's just water bottles and water bottles and water bottles, and then rocks and like boxes and like anything that anybody could get their hands on. Which is, we'll get back to that point later. It didn't take long for them to like start beating people. Like almost immediately, I saw people starting to get like beat, and it's very different because these are things that I've seen on television. These are things that I've seen, you know, in my own head. These are things I've read about. But then it's like they're right there. It's like it's in arm's reach, and it's very, very different. It's very real, and it's very hard to ignore. At that point, it's extremely real. So all desensitization is just gone. And all the shackles, all the chains, gone for a second. And then like they start throwing tear gas. So when they throw the first thing at tear gas, we all started running. Yeah. Like everybody just dispersed. And then, I don't know. I just stopped and I kind of just like went back. And I was like, picked up a couple signs on the way back. And I just like stood in front of them, like, I don't know. I like kept my distance, but like, it was probably like a good 20 feet away at first. You know, just like standing there with the signs. And then people are coming back. There's people there who are tear gassed that are just like on the ground. There's a lot of people there that are coming to like aid the people who have been tear gassed. But it just started like getting really out of hand. Like at a certain point I realized, I was like, all right, there's this here, but there's also probably at least like 8, 9 different sections of the city that are doing this exact same thing. And I don't know, it just felt like something that, if not to be a part of, I needed to at least watch. And I was pretty quiet for the most part, for like most of it, just kind of like standing there holding the signs and watching. But it got to a certain point when they were like calling in more police officers, more reinforcements, and they were like driving in motorcycles and whatnot. Where I was just like, man, I don't know, I could just like feel the anger building up inside myself. Eventually I hopped up on like 2 trash cans and I was just still holding the same 2 signs, but just like at a higher elevation. And then the crackheads start coming. Well, for one, the crackheads, interestingly enough, these people that are painted by society as these like untouchables, almost, they were the ones keeping the peace. They were honestly the only calm ones in this situation, which I thought was very interesting. They were the ones saying, stop throwing, and trying to reason with the cops and X, Y, and Z, and trying to like help this one and the next one. And you know, it's interesting because they were also walking with people who were up to walk. Have a conversation with your local cracker. It's done a lot for my mental, for the better, I personally think. Like, the protests started getting kind of crazy. They started throwing out more tear gas and people started throwing fireworks.
Yeah.
People started throwing fireworks at the police officers, and then it started getting like real crazy. And they started getting real aggressive with the sticks. There was this one dude who was like tall, and he was like very visibly nervous. And, like, you know, one of my homies called him out. He was like, oh, you know, that guy right there, he looks real nervous. And like, if everything's to pop off, he's probably gonna be the first one to pop off. And like the chief of the group or whatever, like ended up like pulling him out of the group and like replacing him with somebody else.
Wow.
It was like, you know, like little stuff like that, just because people decide to like speak up.
Yeah, that's wild.
When I was up on like the trash cans holding the signs, after like a good like half an hour, they called in like motorcycles, and the motorcycles drove up to kind of try to like disperse, like drive through people almost, and like get rid of like just traffic, I guess. And when they came, that's when I jumped down. They came and they pulled up, and I just like jumped down from the trash cans and just like stood in front of them. It was really interesting. It was in that moment that I was like, I realized that I couldn't get eye contact from like any police officer. Because I had been staring down officers all night. I hadn't decided, like, when it was really in the heat of the moment, I wasn't saying much. I let a few chants that went kind of wild, but I didn't say much. And then I realized, I was like, none of them can like look me in the eye for whatever reason. I don't know, whatever. And I just thought that was really interesting. And they were kind of just there, like they kept revving and like moving forward and just like trying to get like scare tactics, intimidation, X, Y, and Z. Then they started blaring the sirens. That's when it started getting real wild. Like it was so loud, and it was like all of them. Like it was crazy. And then people started, after like a few minutes, people started coming up next to me and like joining me, like standing next to me. And then this lady that was on my left, she grabbed my arm and she was like, let's kneel down. And that's when we decided to like kneel down and just like kneel down in front of the officers and hold our hands up. There's not words that can really capture the moment or paint the picture how it deserves to be painted. Boston definitely had, I feel like, one of the more peaceful protests. Like it could have went very, very left. Like people had tried to do some of the things that we tried to pull off, or that we did here in Boston. There would have been a lot more lives lost in other places as compared to here, which should say something about the city. It makes sense. This place has been the stomping grounds for like racial change.
Boston is funny though, I would say, because there's a lot of hidden racism in here.
Oh,
Like,
it's not too hidden.
I mean, it's like
subliminal, but
I feel like they're not as direct as down south. Like down south, they'll tell you to your face, like, F you nigga, whatever. Here, like, it depends. Like they might do some grimy stuff. You know what I mean? There's some stuff that'll really mess you up or mess up your life or mess up your house. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Boston's weird, but they've definitely been fighting for a minute, because even like 30 years ago or 20, 30 years ago, they had the busings with South Boston and stuff, and all the racism going on with that. So yeah,
they've been doing a lot in Boston.
Yeah,
The Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah,
that, like you're just talking about the Brown versus Board. When they started,
something like that, with the schooling system and the busing and stuff.
That all started like here. And, like Boston even today is like still a very segregated city.
Yeah.
Like you could stand, I could stand in like Codman Square and kind of like pick a street and choose essentially like a race.
Right.
Like I could pick and go left and go more towards like the Irish part of Dorchester, or like go backwards back towards like Blue Hill, where it's like more Black and Latino.
Right.
Or like over like where there's more Vietnamese or like Asians in general, but it's still like it's a very like separated town.
It's a very interesting mess. It's like they try to make things better, but in reality, it's still segregated. And it's weird because it messes with your mind in a way. Like, although like I don't have a problem with things being integrated and people being integrated in communities, I still have that feeling in my body that when I see a white person walking on my street, I'm like, whoa, like, what are you doing in my hood? Like, not even like on a rude way. It's like,
interesting.
Yeah, like it's super strange to me to see like somebody that's not of color walking down my street, because like my neighborhood sometimes get a bad rep. And I've even had a driving instructor tell me about how his wife had never moved to my neighborhood, or how she's scared to be over there, and how my neighborhood's on the news. Like, this was a couple of years ago. Like, matter of fact, 3 years ago. And this dude is telling me this stuff, some white man. Like, best believe I never had him again as an instructor. But like, just know that, these things, like, this was just our breaking point. Like I said before, we've been feeling these things, these feelings. We've been going through, been oppressed forever. Like, it's from the existence of America, and since we've been born, like, it's been, we've had to deal with things. And so, I don't know, I would just say, like, if you're a black leader and you're a young person of color, and you feel like you have something to offer, some idea to help change the system, if you want to stand up and, be a leader and be a voice to help get things changing, get things rolling, like, please, step up, because, like, the world's getting out of hand. We can't keep going through the same motions, like, year after year after year. Like, we're tired of it, and the problem is the system. Like, that's the root of it, honestly. That's how I feel.
Yeah. That shirt. Izzy got this dope shirt. Dude, I have to do a quick shout out. I did get this dope shirt. I bought this shirt, like, I think last week. This amazing artist / poet that I met, I think it must have been like 4 years ago at some high school in Mecca Park in Alston. we stayed in contact through social media, kept up with all her work, and she posted this dope shirt one day. And I was messaging her. I was like, I gotta have it. And I bought it. Now I got it. And no one else could say they have it. Yeah, one of a kind. First, like, I think, official shirt of her clothing line. Her name's Victoria. She goes by the Instagram handle of 13Vic. Spell it out, 13 regular and .Vic, VIC.
I'm gonna place that right over here. Y'all can see it.
Yeah, but it's dope. It's like, got a hand in the front.
It's holding the heart, squeezing the heart. It's like punching out through. And then in the back.
In the back, you can see like all the details. It's a little dude. He's like ripping his heart through. He's ripping his hand through like my back, and you can see his spine, and then it comes back up to the front. I just thought it was sick. I personally like things like that, especially when it pertains to art.
Super dope out here trying to support local artists, artists of color, producers of color. I have, as long as you for the cause, because I got a couple homies. I want to shout out Max, because I was super worried for him at the protest. Dude was going back to get his bike, and I was like, and then this was after everybody ran from the tear gas, and his bike was over there, and I was like, bro, are you sure you want to get your bike tomorrow? Like, but I appreciate all my people that are supporting us. I want to shout out Tom too, because I know hashtag Shanique, because all these producers and stuff that like are killing, but also for the cause, for the people. We don't have any space, any time for racists, for homophobes, for transphobes, for anybody that don't, has a problem with somebody's identity, you know what I mean, or their religion, their, what's it called, race, all that stuff. Like, scrap that. We don't have time for that. So, if you are one that is Black Lives Matter and, aren't here to judge nobody, then you can gladly get diggy with Dom. But please do not get diggy with Dom if you are racist. Okay, well, you wouldn't be watching my video if you're racist. Maybe you would, I don't know, that's on you. You just have a mind views out. And, if you are against LGBTQ, blah, 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 like, we don't play that here. So, yes, sir. So, yeah, this is first talk about, Talks with Dom, first talk, episode 1, Talks with Dom, featuring homeboy Izzy. And thank you for getting big with us, talking about how we really feel. Time is hard. We can ramble. We can go on and on and on and on. I have so many stories. And, if you're a police officer, or if you know a police officer, please do the right thing. Don't kill us. Don't shoot us. Don't lock us up for no reason. Because the system is fucked up. You know that. So, change it.
You can prevent racism.
That's facts. Alright, we out.
My name is Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Dom Diggity Dom Diggity